Hello everybody, welcome to another stream. Today we're going to be working on a illustration that I'm doing for class. You can see the sketch that I did for it on screen right now. Pull up my reference image so that I can see it. So here's what I've got so far. Made a couple of alterations between what I've got in the sketch and the actual project that I'm working on. So the premise of what I'm doing is soldiers patrolling a road in an urban area under moonlight. So as you can see, we've got the moon rising behind these mountains here. A building here, a building here, possibly some buildings in the background, although I'm probably not going to have those in the final. They're going to be on a road. There's going to be one guy close to the camera, which is what I'm going to use to reference it's currently on the screen for. And then I've decided that I'm going to have them at a halt, so he's going to have his hand up in a halting symbol. And then these three guys will be taking a knee. Probably bring this guy here further back a little bit. That guy about right there. And then this guy will be back there. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got so far. So as you can see, I did my moon here. Let's go ahead and okay. So I started with my sky right here, and the way that I did this was I did a solid blue background, and then over top of that I did a gradient, a blue to orange gradient, so it gives that nice sunset look to it. So that's how I did my sky. And then I built my moon. I actually had my moon like really big. It was like pretty much the whole main part of the screen while I was painting it. And let's zoom in on it a bit here so we can see some detail. So basically I just took my pen here with a solid brush, and I got the color that I wanted, which is that yellow, and I just made a dot. And I'll go ahead and go one step at a time here. So I made a dot on the screen here, and then over top of that dot I attached a layer, and I just took a splatter pen and just kind of splattered in some brownish, grayish brown around there. And then I went in and I painted in, I looked at a reference of the moon and painted in roughly where the craters are here. And again, that was attached right there. So then I went in and I added these. I had a little starburst, a little burst light brush, and I just used that to make the little bursts there. And then I went along the outside with a very soft brush. I think it was this one right here, but I was way out here with my pen, so it was just barely getting the edges there. Alright, and then, oh, I didn't mean to close out of the thing there. Then finally, once I got it where I wanted it in the sky, I went ahead, resized it, got it where I wanted it, and then I just took a very basic technique, which I took a soft brush and I made it really big and just put a dot there so that it gives it that glowing effect. And when you shrink it down, the details don't really matter as much on it, and it makes it look a little bit more realistic. So actually, let me see if I can find the image that I used of the moon there. was this one. Yeah, it was this one here. I got my Discord is up too, and I've got my teacher responding to what I posted in Discord about this project. Let me move my pen over here. All right, so this is the reference that I used for the moon. So as you can see, I put in these little 1, 2, 3, and there's another one right over here, little where I put the bursts. So yeah, I think that it turned out pretty good. I like it, so not too shabby. Anyway, so that's how I did the moon. Next, I put my mountains in, and so for the mountains, I basically just took it was my graphite new brush. So it's about that shape. And I used a light brown and painted it, and then I went back in with a much darker color and painted it, and then I took a gray and I did gray at the bottom, and then I used my smudge tool to just smudge it together. That way it would kind of gradient down. And then again, I attached a layer and I added in some highlights where the moon would be highlighting it. I think I'm going to tone that down a little bit though. It is a bit too much. Bit too bright, bit too distracting to the eye. See if I can find a good one. Lighten, Linear dodge might do it. Oh, linear light. Yeah, I think linear light's how I'm gonna go. Okay, so there's my mountains. The next thing that I did was I put in the ground, and I did this in a few different steps here. I actually started with this layer right here. So let's get rid of all that. I basically just took right here. There we go. For this one here, I basically just took a dark color and painted the rest of this. I think I might kind of blur it so that it kind of blends in a little bit better. So we'll get to that. Then I added in my road, and the road I just took a light brownish color and painted it a diagonal, and then I took a gray and brought it in right here, and then I used the smudge tool to smudge it out. And then I added in again the same tool that I used for the moon, the splatter. I just really lightly went over the road and then turned down the opacity for that, and then I took another splotchy type tool and did the same thing. Just kind of went over the road with a grayish color and then lowered the opacity. Then I added in a curb. This needs some work. It needs to be refined quite a bit, so we'll get to that eventually. The huts. For the huts, I basically took a dark brown, very, very dark, and painted in all of the areas. And then I took a lighter brown and I went in here, and then a gray for the window, and then I did a little bit of highlighting on there. I added in shade and lowered the opacity to that. That way the buildings are giving shade from the moon, so you can see that the moon is going to be hitting it roughly on the back of this building, so it's pretty much going to go in a straight line from the building, and then from this angle It's going to be coming in, and actually this should probably be cut right here. So I can actually do that right now. Shade. So let's go ahead. Boom. Let's come in from this angle. That's that easy. So now my building is giving proper shadow there. All right. Then I added in details on this building here, and it's only for this building. I added in the highlights here. I added in this door for the garage. This is like a rolling up door, like you would see on a storage unit. I used some reference photos that I had of houses in Afghanistan for that. And then this one, I basically just painted over the building completely with a very dark gray, and then lowered the opacity to kind of shade it against itself. So that is that building. And now we're all caught up on what I've got. So what I want to do right now is actually I'm going to try to blend this curb out a little bit, because it is a bit much. So yeah, I think I will use a smudge tool and see if I can smudge it. And just very lightly. And again, I was actually using for my reference for this, my brain. I've seen a lot of curbs in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they've got like a yellow top that goes along them, and they're usually gray or white on the sides. So that's what I used for that. I'm gonna add some trash and debris, probably maybe like a bicycle leaning up against one of these buildings. So yeah, we'll get there. The little details that we'll add in, but I may not do that on stream. It really just depends. So I'm gonna bring this back over here so I can see chat. All right. So I think what I'm gonna do is roughly right here, because I want to keep him at about the same spot that I had planned. I'm on the graphite. Okay, that's a good brush to use, I think. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use a hard brush to start with, just to give him a nice base. Make sure that I'm on the right layer here, and then I want to give him like a very dark green texture here. Alright, so this guy is going to be, he's going to have his arm coming over here like this, and then down, and then it'll come back up this way. Alright, and then his shoulder's going to come across, and his torso will come down here, and then his arm is actually going to come this way, and then it'll come up, and then we'll have his fist right here. Alright, and then helmet, come up, it actually comes back a bit, like that roughly. But I'm also going to use a second reference image, and that is this one here, because he's going to be wearing some night vision goggles. So let's go ahead. I will actually bring these down so we can see both of them. Find my stinking reference image. It's actually not the best reference image, to be honest, mainly because it's from the front and I need it from the side, but that's okay. That's okay. I will get there. I think what I want to do right now, so I got a nice base layer here. Let's make a folder to put this in. This will be soldier A. Alright, so he's going to be right here. That doesn't look too bad. Let's give him a few extra layers here. And let's go ahead and clip all of those layers onto the base. Alright, cool. So he's not going to have a lot of color because he's mostly in shadow. So a lot of this can be shaded. So let's go to the graphite, and then right over top of his hand here, the hand that is in the hole position, just do this. Alright, and then so typically in the military you're not going to have your sleeves rolled like he does, like he's got his. I don't know who this joker thinks he is, but we're just going to ignore that. So that's going to be his skin right there. Alright, for the most part that'll be his skin. Don't need to get extremely detailed with this. I think what we're going to do is we'll come actually on the opposite side a little bit for this, for his helmet and his uniform. So let's go ahead and on the next layer, that's too light. That's too light. That'll work. I know it doesn't look like much difference, but it did darken it a bit. This one we'll go ahead and do the shadow, or the light. So from this angle he will have, let's get rid of that. So we're actually looking at what we've got here. He's going to have some highlight here on his shoulder there, and then on his hand here probably. And then we will go ahead and up the ante on that just a little bit here. Just line it up a bit more there. Alright, so he's given the Halt symbol. We will add some details in on this guy. Now that I've got the basics of where he's going to be and where my light and stuff's going to be in the scene. Alright, so where's my eraser? There it is. Alright, so I think that I went a bit too far on the highlights on his hand because it's starting to go around to the front of his hand, so I'm just going to take that out a bit, and then this out a bit. There we go. So it's just going to be on the edges. And I will also add just the slightest amount to side of his face here. And actually, we need to get his face a little more accurate here. So he's got his ear here. Oh, I'll need to do the base for that. His ear's going to come down here. There we go. And then we can come back here to the highlight and just grab that color. Just have just the slightest bit on the back of his neck. Alright, so that actually makes him look like he is there a little bit more. Alright, so let me see if I can find a better reference image for I like to get a image from the side here. Just a sec. I'm actually going to, once I figure out where it saved this, not sure where my image went here. That's weird. My image just kind of disappeared. Where did you save to? Not sure what's going on there. That's the wrong folder. Yeah, for some reason it's just not saving this image. Open image in a new tab. Let's try that. Yeah, I don't know where it's saving that to. It's frustrating. There it goes. That was freaking annoying. Okay. Sorry, bear with me here. Okay, so for that one, I'm going to go ahead and swap out the picture that I'm using here for this one. Alright, and I'm actually going to rotate this, or flip this image. Oh, shit. My bad. There we go. A. Okay, man, this was a bit painful. Alright, so let me zoom in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's make a new layer that isn't attached, because I'm going to use a base for this. You know, I'm just gonna make the base full on black. I normally don't mess with full on black when I'm messing in Photoshop, but that's okay. We'll get over it. So just kind of getting the basic outline, or the basic silhouette of this. So this is the cup where his eye is. This needs to come down slightly there. And then down again slightly. And down again slightly. And then it kind of tapers up. These are newer night vision goggles. I've never actually used these ones. These are a newer model. So I'm not completely sure what all of the components on here are. Drop my brush size down, because this kind of comes in like this, like that. Not going to need a lot of the details on here, because once again, this is all going to be in shadow, and actually a lot of this we're not going to see, and it is at a different angle slightly. So this should be the front plate where it mounts at, onto the mounting plate. So that's roughly going to be where it is. Now let's go ahead and swap to graphite. Okay. Oh, I should probably do a few layers here. Not sure if I'll use all of these or if I'll need more, but that's good. I'm actually going to give it a slightly green glow here. so we'll know where the lenses are. And it's actually going to, right along the edge here, I'm going to have a green glow. And then I'm going to put a little bit of light reflecting on his face from that, because light does shine out of those. Okay, we'll just leave it normal. Alright, and then just gonna give it a very light coat of and actually let me move the glow up to the top of these. That way it doesn't get covered up by anything. I'm gonna give it a very light coat of brown, like a dark brown. Trying to go with the angles here. Just to give it the illusion of detail here. The illusion of detail. It's not actual detail. Oh, motherfucker, that was all on my... It was all on the wrong layer. Shit. Actually, you know what? We'll do this. Shift Control Z. We'll leave it on that layer. Alright. And I will bring this layer down. We will just cover up the green here. Just like that. And I will come to this layer and we will add the green. Just way too big. I want this to be very faint. Okay, cool. And there is another little tiny lens, which I'm not 100% sure. I was looking at some different images of this. There's like another small lens right there. So that adds a little bit of detail to that. And it's not accurate, but it looks like a machine, right? So when you're looking at it from about this size, you can't really tell that it's not accurate unless you're an expert on it, and then you might be able to tell. So there's that. There's MVGs, and then let's just add one more layer to this guy, right? And I'm just going to put a very dark green just kind of illuminating his face right there. Alright, cool. Now, let's do this. We know that this dude has got a face because he's a human. not what I wanted to do. Let's go ahead and save real quick. Alright. So he's gonna have facial features, right? So let's go ahead and go back to the other reference image. That guy. And let's give him an ear right here. Gotta shape that ear out a bit. And then his eyes are going to come right over here, the corners. Some nostrils. Little frowny face. You got a little frown here. Little frown, okay. All right, and then we'll give him a little bit of a shade under his chin here. Just to kind of define his face here. And it gives the slightest illusion that I actually took my time and detailed him. Right? So it's very faint. It's very faint. One last thing, I think. We'll clip this layer, and then I'm going to give him these straps from his helmet because he should have them. And what you're seeing in the image is not very accurate because this should come down here and it's going to around there. He's not wearing it right. Like that. This actually comes around here. There we go. Cool. So I think for this dude, we're just about done. I'm going to add a little bit more detail to his uniform just to kind of give it some gray it out a bit. Let's go ahead. Well, where is that? That's the highlights. So let's just go right on top of this layer. And it's more going to be like a pattern. So I think that this might work. Oh, that's a smudge tool. Oh, shit. I didn't realize. That's a smudge tool. I hate the brushes that are just smudges. Where are you? And that might work. Oh, that's a fucking smudge tool too. God damn it. Because it was still set on smudge tool. This isn't a smudge tool specific brush, I don't think. No. It's not even doing anything. Ah, it is. Couldn't tell because the layer on top of it was blocking it. Okay, so let's do it like this. Just adding a little bit of detail to his uniform. Oh. I just want to tap. Adding detail without actually adding detail. That is what a lot of art is. You can give the illusion that you're adding detail. Without actually adding too much. All right. So there is a soldier there. That was, I had to see what the notification was. One of my kids asking if I've got a Spotify account. Fucking random. All right. So this guy right here, you guys can't see it because I don't have it turned on. This guy right here is going to be right here. So we're going to add him in, and then basically I'm going to copy him, flip him, and put him right here. Well, that won't work either. It might. Hold on. Edit. Flip. It might. I just exited out of my reference image though. Poop. Man, this music. Whew, man. Background of that photo is really bright. It's washing out my my green screen there. Let's try something real quick. Is it not gonna? Oh, because it's locked. Okay. There we go. Y'all probably don't want to see me right now anyway. Okay. So back to the art, the thing that matters. So that's all for Soldier A. Let's close all these folders up. We'll bring him down. And now we've got the reference on top. So he's roughly in the same area, right? Not a whole lot of detail on his face, or on him, but it's enough that when you're looking at it, you're like, oh, damn, like, someone really went to work on this, especially, like, if you don't really pay attention to the things that your eye doesn't go directly to, so your eye's going to go to the moon, which you see a lot of detail in. Your eye's going to go to the bright parts on him, which is the light on the MBGs. So, like, it tricks your brain into thinking, oh, wow, there's a lot of detail in that one. There's really not. So, I think that I've beat that dead horse enough. All right, so this guy is actually going to be the wrong brush. Try to get my sketch at least somewhat to what I want the finished product to be here. So this guy's fine. He actually kind of looks like he's kneeling already anyway. So basically we want this guy, we want his knee right here, and then leg out, he's gonna have his arm here, right? And then torso. Right? Helmet. Weapon. Okay, cool. So that's basically where I want this guy at. Alright, cool. So he'll be there. This guy here will actually be if I can clip him right, he'll actually be further up this way. Right? So brush. Let's deselect first. Grab that. Just trying to get my sketch back to where it needs to be here. So it'll be more like that. And then this guy over here, I'll put those on my brush. Can be he's actually going to be on this side too. He's going to be like way up at the top. But basically I can copy this dude and drag him up into position and shrink it down. So it'll be the same, because really he's going to be in the same position basically. So that won't really matter. So, alright, so right here, is where I need to do my next guy. So let's go ahead and put a folder up here. Let's call this Soldier B. In this folder, we'll have those. And then let's go ahead and clip some stuff down. Make sure that I'm on this layer here. And we will, again, have a nice base. So I'm just going to be looking at my reference image here while I'm doing this. Helmet. His head. His neck. Alright, we got a shoulder here. And this shoulder comes down here. Alright. This arm. His hand. Alright, that's going to be the rest of his torso. And then he's going to have his med pack right here. The rest of his vest. So his vests are big and bulky. Alright. There's his knee coming down. And then this one is coming across. Like so. I think that's gonna work. Alright, so, and we'll add in his weapon and stuff after we get his basic body done. So let's go ahead and we will do the same thing for skin. Drop my brush down a bit. Oh, shit. Always do that. Gotta click on the right layer. There, Jay. Alright, there's his neck and his face. Alright, cool. I know that he's wearing gloves, but I want to kind of give the illusion that he's we want to be able to see the details a little bit. So if I give him a hand right here, it'll give us the illusion that he is yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. All right, let's do this helmet. And to be honest, the helmet should be rounded a little bit more up here. There we go. All right, we can ditch that, so we know where he's going to be now. All right, cool. Yep. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that's fine. Come around there. Shoulder. Just gonna go ahead and basically his whole body will be this darker green. And then we'll go a darker brown for his boots. And we'll come in here, hit up the eraser. Something a little smaller, I think. And we can just kind of touch up the shape of his boot a little bit here. Alright, cool. So this will be our second guy here. Just go ahead and give him a little dot right there. Okay, cool. Now we can add in, I think we'll add in some facial features real quick. A little bit of face detail here. You know, these are going to have two eyes, right? So they'll be roughly in there. There. Add in that. All right, cool. His facial features again don't really matter too much because he's going to have he's going to be in shadow. So let's add a few more layers. Let's go ahead and do a wrong key. Let's zoom out here. See where the moon is going to be hitting him. So it's going to be hitting him pretty much on his back. Should have a little bit here, right? On his shoulder here. Top of his helmet. Maybe a little bit here. Here. inner thigh. It's gonna be hitting him from right there. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's boot. Let's label a couple of these. Uniform. Can't tell what that one is. Must not be anything. Okay. We'll call this uniform detail. We'll get there later. Face. Highlight. Okay, so for uniform detail, we're going to go back to that this brush here. Okay. Then come in here. Adding in this bit of detail here. And I'm going to add in the lighter highlights as well. Just need to do this first. Well, I don't need to do this first, but I've already started it, so I'm going to finish it. Alright. Cool. So there's that. Clip. Okay, so let's go back to my graphite new brush. It's probably one of my favorite brushes. I'm going to drop down the opacity, or drop down the size significantly. I'm just going to add the slightest amount of detailed highlight. Because honestly, the highlight on him right now, before doing this, much too green. Alright, cool. Now, the final thing that I want to add to him before I do the MVGs is his chin strap. And again, I'm just going to come over to this dude, copy the color, right back to this guy. Alright, cool. Alright. So he's actually wearing it correctly. Right, and then it comes up this way, comes back around here, and it comes up, to here, and it actually just have it kind of disappear into the helmet. Okay, cool. So we need to give this guy a weapon and his MVGs. So, new layer, weapon. Okay, and again, probably not going to get too explicit on the details of this. I'll just go solid black, I guess. We'll add some gray into it too. Just to kind of give it some imaginary detail. He's not going to have the pistol grip on it because he's not going to be a noob. That's completely fucked. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so let's say here, and then there. There. Oh, shit. There. Okay, so that should get me relatively where I need to be as far as my positioning goes. Some nice guidelines. I'm just going to come straight through his hand because I can erase that. All right. Alright, and then he's got the actual handle is right here. Slow receiver, and also trigger well, which he's doing the wrong thing because he's got his finger on the trigger, like he's actually got his finger in the trigger well. Mag. We'll give it the illusion of a sight here. Ever so slightly. Alright. Now we've got the hand guards right here. Roughly. We got the front sight post. And then the barrel. Cool. So just a little bit of detail there. And then it should kind of look like a bit of a pistol, a bit of a rifle here. So I'm just going to very slightly gray up the mag here. We'll add just a little bit of there. Lower down my brush size. Just do that. Have a little bit of just gray in there. It's actually going to be the ejection chamber right there. Alright. Lower it down significantly because I'm just going to do this. Again, just the illusion of detail. And even on the barrel here. Just going to come in and go like that. We'll come around like this, and then I'll take the eraser I can grab it. Come to the actual weapon. I'm just going to right along there. Alright, so a little bit of illusion of detail there. So he's got himself a M4. Alright. So now that he's got a weapon, let's go ahead and add in his nods here. And again, we'll go back to the, I don't remember which reference picture it was. Not that one. That one. I gotta find my actual reference image of it though, so. There we go. Zoom in so I can see. Alright. Lower that down. And it's basically just going to be the same thing here. So the cup's going to be like right here. Goes into the eye. And this one is actually going to be a lot less detailed because he's further away. So I'm just going to very, very quickly do this one. All right, cool. And then we'll add 2 more layers. This layer will be the detail layer. Okay, so again, it's just going to be the illusion of detail here. A little bit of where the lenses are going to go. Back in there. We'll have the bar right here. Mounting thing. 3rd lens there. A little bit of garbage here and there. And then the edges. Alright, cool. And then now that I've got the NVGs on him, I can come back to the actual soldier, right? And I can go right on top of his face, add a layer. I'm gonna call this light. Make it a little darker, but it'll still amount to the same thing. It's just going to be very slight. Oh, it would help if I was using Alright, got my second soldier. Let's go ahead and save. And I'll go ahead and export a quick JPEG. Alright, cool. So I think that that's going to do it for this stream. I need to take a break from my computer for a little bit. So let me get rid of that guy and get rid of that guy. So yeah, just wanted to do a little bit of art on stream. I know I haven't done it in a while, so I wanted to go ahead and do that. I will go ahead and finish this up, add the other 2 soldiers in, add shadows from the soldiers, so on and so forth. Maybe some beams of light coming through, and we'll see. Maybe I'll pop up in a stream sometime in the future and just like pop up the image for anybody that wants to see it. So anyway, let's go make a raid happen. I think. Let's see who is streaming art right now. Who is streaming art? Oh, we've got Bob Ross, but I'm not gonna raid Bob Ross. Let's go ahead and raid see what this person's all about. This person looks like they are I don't know what they're doing. Get through the ad and I'll see. Looks like they're doing some abs of a sort. Yeah, we'll go check them out. They're doing some anime stuff, so yeah, let's just copy that, and we'll go raid that person. See if that works. Hey, it looks like it's gonna work. Alright, so we'll do the raid message. Artillery J raid. Alright, and so let's kill the music here. We'll go ahead and raid. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you enjoyed them. See you later.